today in math, we are going to be starting a very new module. And we're going to be talking about measuring things. Have you ever measured anything? Tell me a time when you've measured something. What does that even mean anyway? Micah, tell me a time.
One time I measured how long a pencil was.
Okay, great. Micah said she measured how long a pencil was. Well, today we are going to be measuring the lengths of two objects. So let's look at this learning target right here. It says, I can compare the lengths of two objects. So let's look at what's most important in that learning target. Well, I see this word compare. And when we compare, is there only one thing? No, there has to be what?
Two.
So we're going to be comparing two objects, and we're going to be comparing their length. So first of all, what is length? So let's look at our anchor chart. It says, length is how blank something is. Anyone thinks what could go there? Length is how what? Length is how long something is. So today when we compare lengths of an object, we're going to be comparing how what? How long. We might even use the word how short something is. Okay? So I'm going to model for you exactly what that looks like. So I want everyone to look up here. I have a marker and a pencil. And it says for my model, the blank is longer than the blank is shorter than the blank. Well, looking right here, my marker's longer. My marker is longer than the pencil. But when I do this, the pencil's longer. So the most important criteria that you are going to learn today says, did I line up my end points? When I do this or I do this, it's different. I have to line up my end points. And when I say end points, the end of the object. So I'm going to do like this. So now that I line my endpoints up, I have to think, what is the longer one? Well, looking at my picture, I'm going to think the pencil is longer than the marker. Because the length of it is taller. But then I have another part to compare. It says the blank is shorter than the blank. Well, again, I have to line up my endpoints. And I see that the marker is shorter than the pencil. So today you are going to use these terms to compare the lengths of two objects. While you are working, there will also be a model for you to look at. It says the blank is shorter than the blank. So looking at my two dogs, I have a green dog and a blue dog. So I need to see which one's shorter. Well, the green is shorter, so I'm going to write the green dog is shorter than the blue dog. And the blue dog is longer than the green dog. So that will be your model that you will be able to look at while you are doing your own work. So when we start working with me, I want to look at what strong work looks like. Because what I told you in your criteria, the most important part, you have to ask yourself the question, did I line up my endpoints? So let's look at this one. Why is this strong? Does anyone know? Why is this red and this blue line considered strong? But why is it strong according to my criteria?
Because they line their things up.
Yes, they line up their endpoints. Look, do you see how they line up the red and the blue? Once you line up your endpoints, you can fill out your chart. It says the blue line is longer than the red line, and the red line is shorter than the blue line. And how did they know that? Because what did they do? Line up their endpoints. Well, let's look at this. It says this is weak work. Why is that weak? Why would that be weak work? Why would that be weak, Preston?
It is weak because their endpoints are not together.
Their endpoints are not together. Can I really, truly tell which one's longer or shorter?
No.
And then it says the lines are the same. Is that right?
No.
So what score would we give this? A score of a what?
1.
Of a 1, because they did not line up their endpoints. It is a crayon, a piece of paper, expo marker, and a pencil, and they are already all on your desk. So what I want you to do is compare your crayon and your expo marker. What is the first thing, the most important thing that we are going to do? Ask yourself this question. Did I line up my endpoints? You also have a model up here to help you. You may do your work. Take your crayon and your expo marker, line up your endpoints, and compare the two lengths. Okay, I see you lining up your endpoints differently. Does it matter if we do them like this or if we do them like this? No. You can line them up whichever way you want. I love how Dane is working so hard, spelling his words right, lining up his endpoints. I love how Preston's lining up his endpoints. Girl, so I came around, I saw some really great answers. I want someone to come up here and show me how they lined up their endpoints. Who can come show me that? Show me, Wyatt. Bring your, yes, both of your materials. And I want to see how he lined them up. Can you show me? Did he line up his endpoints, folks? So he lined them up this way. I saw some of you lining them up this way. Does it matter? No, as long as your endpoints what? Match. Yes. So let's check our work. Who can tell me what goes here? The blank is longer than the blank. Izzy.
The expo marker is longer than the crayon.
Yes. The expo marker is longer. Thumbs up if you agree. Who can tell me how to fill in the bottom? Ray Sholin.
The crayon is shorter than the...
Awesome. Thumbs up. Great job. All right, so now we are going to compare two other objects. We're going to do one more together. And I want you to use the paper that you're writing and a pencil. So use your paper and a pencil to compare your objects. What's the first question you're going to ask yourself? Did I line up my endpoints? All right, you may begin. And I love how Akaija's already working. He's already lining up his endpoints. So is Angie. Okay, Partagan, so look, the two objects that we're going to measure is paper and a pencil. So show me how you would line up your endpoints using your paper and your pencil. How would you line them up? Would you do them like this? Is that good enough? Do they match? So can you show me where you would put it? Where would you put your pencil to line your endpoints? Great. Do you see? Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you see how they match? So if you're looking right here, the blank is longer than the blank. What do you think is longer, the paper or the pencil? The paper is longer than the pencil. Can you write that for me? And can you do the next one? And I'm going to come check to see, okay? Dane. So I see that you have been doing a great job and that you've been finishing early, so I'm going to give you 2 objects to do. And I want you to write a sentence using those 2, scissors and stick. And I want you to actually write a complete sentence with capital letters and compare these 2 objects. Alright, Dane, so what did you decide?
The stick is longer than the scissors. And I wrote the stick is longer than the scissors because the scissors are shorter than the stick.
And I also saw you using your word wall to spell which word?
Because.
Perfect. I love how you told me why. You didn't just say the stick is longer. You told me why the stick is longer. Awesome. Kiss your brain. Kiss your brain for Dane. Kiss your brain.
Kiss your brain.
Kiss your brain. Alright, boys and girls. So, the next thing we are going to do is go on a scavenger hunt. Who wants to go on a scavenger hunt? Me! So what I want you to do is find 2 items in your desk. I don't care what they are. Any 2 items you want to compare. And then you're going to fill in your sentence. Now, we are going to clear a test. So make sure you find 2 good items. Alright, so what 2 items are you using? And your Play-Doh? Alright, can you show me how you would line up your endpoints? Show me. Perfect job. Now you get that. Alright, boys and girls, so now that we've been on our scavenger hunt, I want you to switch papers and objects with your partner, and I want you to peer assess. Remember, a 3 means what? I know this. A 2?
I don't know.
Little help. And a 1?
I don't know any of this.
So peer assess. Make sure you line up their endpoints to check.
I gave you a 2 because I gave you a 3 because you like. Wait, I gave you a 3 because I gave you a 3 because you like your also says that the dictionary is bigger and that's right. And the journal is shorter.
Alright, class. Alright, so partner A, I want to hear from you. Micah, what did you give your partner?
I gave my partner a 3 because he lined up his endpoints and the journal is longer than the grid on the clear is shorter than the
Great job, partner. Alright, boys and girls, so now we are going to move into our independent work. So this is going to be the activity that you do. And if you look up here, it says your directions. Write the words longer than and shorter than to make the sentences true. So let's look at the first one. Abby is blank spot. So you need to think. Is Abby longer than? Is Abby shorter than spot? And luckily they line our endpoints up for us. So what do you think should go there? Raise your hand. Joshua? Shorter than. So you are going to write the word shorter than. Get it? The next page, some of you are going to start from the bottom. When I give you your paper, if I give it to you this way, you're going to do the bottom first, where you are going to find school supplies in your desk and order them from shortest to longest. I also need everyone's attention for your early finisher. Your early finisher says, search the classroom and your desk for one item that is longer than your desk, one item that is shorter, and this is a little bit more tricky, one item that is the same as your desk. And you're going to write that on your template with your dry erase. Our goal for the day is to compare two objects. So before we even do our work, I want you to watch me. And I have some blocks back here. And I'm going to compare two objects and show you how to line them up. Alright, so we're going to call this red line and a red line and a blue line. So everyone, eyes on me. Who can show me how do I line this up? Because I think the main problem is we don't line them up correctly. Can you show me? Show me. How would you line this up? Can you show me? Okay. So can you line them up? Is that right? Thumbs up if you agree. Or heart. Does his endpoints match? Do they match? So what should you have? Now, can you also line them up this way? Would that work? Does it matter if you do them this way, this way? What matters is that the endpoints what? Line up. So looking at these, who can tell me which object is longer? Which one is longer, Lionel?
The blue line.
Can we say that in a sentence? Repeat after me. The blue line
Is
longer than the
red line.
Who else can tell me which one's shorter? Who can tell me which one's shorter? Sebastian?
The red line.
In a complete sentence.
The red line is shorter than the blue line.
Perfect. So we are going to use these terms to do our worksheet and compare two objects. And I'm going to leave these here just in case we need a little bit of help. What should you write there? I want you to write it so I can check. B is blank A. Look at Cartesian. B is shorter than or longer than A. What do you think is going to go there? B is, look at B. What's going to go there? Shorter. Why is it shorter than? Are the endpoints lined up? Doesn't it look like the red one? Is the red one shorter than the blue? So B is shorter than A. Go ahead and write it for me. Reagan, you're doing a great job. You can go ahead and go to your desk and finish your work, okay? Because you've gotten them all right, sweet girl. All right, boys and girls, so what we are going to do now is I want everyone to get to their worksheets. And get to the side that looks like this. And I want you to compare work with your shoulder partner to check your answers. Check your answers with your shoulder partner. Make sure you have the same answers. So how are your answers looking? Are they the same? So which one's different? So it's saying that that was the longer, the darker. Which one is longer? Is the darker one longer or shorter? So boys and girls, our learning target was what today? I can compare the lengths of two objects. So let's have a little talk about some of those things. My first question for you says, when we compare lengths of different objects, what do we need to do to make sure we are comparing accurately or correctly? What do we need to do to our objects to make sure that we are comparing accurately? Put it in your head when you're ready. All right, pair and share. Go.
different object and see
All right, class. So what is important? What do you have to make sure we do when we compare our lengths of two objects? Who haven't I heard from? Dane.
you have to line them up to see if there's short or longer.
And what does our criteria say? Did I line up my
Endpoints.
Because remember, for my introduction, I did this. Is that kind of confusing?
Yes.
Does the marker look longer?
No.
Does it look longer for you to look like this though?
Yes.
But when I truly line up my endpoints, is that marker longer?
No.
No. So when you are comparing two objects, you must line up your
Endpoints.
You are going to have a quick ticket out the door. It says write the words longer than or shorter than to make the sentence true. Shoe A is blank, shoe B. After, I want you to self-assess at the bottom to tell me if you know this well, if you what? Need a little help, or if you don't know
Any of this.
all right, supply stars. Write your name and number. Fill in your exit ticket, and at the bottom, self-assess yourself. When you're done, turn it over so no one can see your paper. And my supply stars can start picking them up. Please make sure name and number and that you have self-assessed yourself.